Okay, yeah.
No.
Go.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephanie, and I work here at the most amazing quilt shop in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Be So Creative. And today we are going to do some ruler work. We have the Handy Quilter Ruler of the Month program here at Be So Creative. And if you are a member of it, then if you're like me, you're collecting rulers, and a lot of times they are just sitting around and you're wondering, oh my goodness, what could I do with them? So Marcia and I discussed it, and we decided, hey, let's work on something so that we can show you what our ideas are on the rulers. Today we're going to be working with two rulers from our Ruler of the Month Club 7. The Ruler of the Month from September was the Flower Power ruler. I don't know if you can, does that help?
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so that's the Flower Power ruler from September, and is the flip side ruler. That Handy Quilter makes is that they all have grid lines on them so that you can use those as a reference point, and there's also a grid on the Flower Power. The other thing that's on the back of mine is the Handy Grip, and it feels a lot like sandpaper so that when you're using it, it just doesn't slip around. The Handy Grip is available here at the shop, and it comes in a package. It's $9.99, and I believe you get 12 strips. So they come in a strip, and you just cut the length you want. And as you can see, let me see if I can get dark behind it.
There we go. Yeah, it's perfect.
We've just done a little bit every now and again on the ruler. So ruler things that I want to remind you: whenever you're working with rulers, you need to have a ruler base, and I have my ruler base on underneath here. You need to have, yeah, it's hard. You need to have a ruler foot on, and the ruler foot is a higher. It's just a higher base so that the ruler doesn't flip up and go under your needle. So it stands a little bit higher. The other thing about the rulers that you're using, they need to be 1/4 inch thick from whatever brand that you decide to use. You can't use regular rulers because they can slip right under the, and you can, I do have this ruler out because I am going to, I wanted to mark a line that I want to work off of. We decided to use a Dream Big panel.
Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah.
I love these.
Gives you great practice, and the ruler panel is less than $20, and I put a solid color on the back because when I finish it, it'll be almost like a reversible project because it'll be beautiful from the back.
Oh, that's a great idea,
Yeah.
Steph. Great
So
idea.
the backing is from the Tula Pink line. It is a solid color, and the color was curry. That just sounded fun to me. The thread that I'm using Aurifil in the bottom, and it matches the backing, and I'm using the invisible thread on the top, and this is from Superior, and it is a polyester invisible thread instead of a nylon. So the difference being a polyester versus the nylon invisible thread, it won't yellow, it won't get brittle, it can stand up to heat if you're washing and drying it, unless you're putting it on a really hot setting. You don't want to iron it, of course, because it's polyester and it could melt. I like to use the clear one because that way I don't have to keep changing thread colors. If I wanted to, and most of my friends know I don't like to change thread a lot of times, I could be doing different colors as I went along. But I decided that I wanted to go ahead and stick with one color. The other thing that I have is different marking tools. Today I will be using an air erasable marker from Soline, and this is also available here at the shop, and just a chalk marker. And I have to tell you that I take one of the white chalk markers and I buy a gray one, and this was an old one, and I put a little bit of gray and a lot of white, and I get a really lighter color gray. so that I can mark and use one marker on every color. So this is the color that I made. So it's got white and gray in it. So you can see it on the light colors, and of course you can see it on the dark colors.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Steph.
Yeah.
Great tip, ladies. Great tip.
Yeah. So if you have empty old ones, you can fill them up with, a third and 2/3 and then make your own color. The other things that we have, this is one of my favorites as well. This is air erasable on this side and water soluble on this side. This one comes out purple, and it can be kind of dark, and if it doesn't go away by air, it will go away by a little spritz of water if it gets stuck. That was a picture of the roof. The other thing, the other marker is a water erasable. I'll sometimes use that one. This one also has a water erasable. As you can tell, I have an arsenal at my house because I don't have favorites. This one is air erasable only. And then I also love using the chalk mechanical pencils if I really need a fine line of the ones that I have today. So the first thing I wanted to do, I've been waiting for this ruler to come out before we did this, because for me, this is a great ruler as an outliner on these panels. And what I want to do is I want to highlight each panel before I do something in it. The choices on batting, I have chosen a wool and a cotton.
Oh, okay.
So I'm double layered, because when I get done with this, then it's really going to puff up and it's going to look really pretty.
It's beautiful.
So if I want to outline the outside of this, remember that once I put this against the hopping foot, then it will be 1/4 of an inch away, because from the needle to the foot is 1/4 of an inch. So I've already done right here, and so now I just want to kind of follow and see if I can, and a little bit of guidance from this. Whenever you're doing your ruler work, you want to have control with your hands where you're stitching. If I'm holding it down here, it will pop up. It can pop up and it can slide under the needle and break. So I want to control the ruler where I am, and this is just kind of like a flat part right here, so I'm just gonna come up and come to here, and then I can go ahead and I can free motion it, and then since I'm at a curve, I can go ahead and I'm gonna try and position myself so you can see this.
Oh, perfect, Steph.
And whenever you get to a point where you need to stop, just turn your machine off. And then we're using an Avante today. This is our rental machine here at the Be So Creative. So we have a channel lock on it. So if I want to do straight horizontal lines, I can turn it to horizontal. If I want to do straight vertical lines, I can turn it to vertical. And these run off of magnets. This is sold by Handy Quilter, and you can get it through us. And if you have an Avante and you don't have a Pro Stitcher, it doesn't matter what machine, if you don't have a Pro Stitcher on it and you want a channel lock that won't move, this is a great item as an add-on. So we're working on an Avante, and they have replaced the Avante with the Amara, and an Amara is a 20-inch throat. This one is an 18-inch throat, and I'm going to put a little advertisement out there. They just came out 2 days ago with the new Moxie, which is a 15-inch throat, and it's a great long arm for beginners to get into, and it's under, it's a great, well-priced little long arm for you. So if you have any questions on that, give us a call and we can give you some information.
And Stephanie, what number would they call?
The number would be 575-523-2000, and somebody's already calling. So I have outlined this petal, and if I want, and see, it looks nice and puffy. So if I want to echo it, I'm not a good echoer, so you're just going to have to be patient. The one nice thing about this flip ruler is that it's the same arc on the inside as it is on the outside. So remember I said that if I put it up against the hopping foot, it's going to be 1/4 of an inch. So if I move my foot 1/4 of an inch to this line, and then I line up to it with my ruler, theoretically, I should be echoing. Let me turn it around. And then this one, a little bit of freehand. Okay, and so you're getting a pretty good echo over here. So I'm going to come on this side because it's easier for me to hold. All right, so I have another pedal underneath. So
Sorry, guys.
that was a picture of that one. And it's really beginning to take some shape.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me get a picture for them, Steph. Wi-Fi is being naughty. Oh, see, that looks great. Yeah, that looks really good, Steph.
So now, if I get to the point where I wonder, oh gosh, I haven't really practiced because, you know, Marcia caught me on the fly, what am I going to do? I can just kind of think about, well, what could I do with this ruler? If I wanted to, I could do a curved crosshatch, which is probably what I'll do on this one because it's a nice big space. And I can kind of chalk it on just to see. And I'm not measuring because I'm just chalking just to see if I like what it looks like.
I like it, Steph. Do y'all like it? If you like it, give a thumbs up for us.
If you're asleep, sorry.
Oh, they're not asleep.
Okay. And when I actually go and do this, I'll be measuring the space lines a little bit better. So when I'm doing a crosshatch, or even just like that, that's kind of pretty too.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Then if I go back the opposite way, or a different way, so see how I'm getting
All right,
that
let's see.
crosshatch?
We can get
Let me
that.
get
Oh,
it down
yeah,
here,
go ahead and finish.
and that might help.
She's
you.
working hard, ladies. She's working hard. Okay.
It looks better up here. So
Oh,
I don't know if you can see it.
can you see the crosshatch on there?
Let me turn the light off. Nope.
No.
Let me draw it a little darker. Yeah, you can kind
Yeah,
of see it.
yeah, you can see it. Linda Martindale says she loves crosshatch look.
Good.
Annette gave you a smiley face with the little hearts floating around its.
All right. So I'm going to be working with this one. I don't want to take up too much time on this one, but I really like.
Now they can see that. It looks good.
So I really like that.
Okay.
All right. So the next one that we want to play with is the little flower power, and keeping in mind that I want to go all the way up to the top or all the way to the bottom, I am going to stop that 1/4 of an inch away from my line so that I can go back and do this after we're done. So what I can do is, what kind of a design do I want? And the same thing, you can go, and I'm going to do it over here, just draw and give you an idea. A lot of times I'll sit and doodle at home, and this was kind of on the fly, so I was
Because I'm really bossy.
well, no, I didn't get to doodle too much, and so I am just kind of working off the fly today. So I saw a pattern that I liked, and when you get these rulers, you get an idea sheet, and with each ruler,
She's got to get the idea while you're walking over there. I think that that's the beauty of playing with the actual thing, because if you don't like it, what do? You just rub it off, and that way it gives you a really nice look, and it's not permanent. So I think your idea of using the chalk is a great idea. Okay, Steph, what are we doing?
Okay, so these are the ideas that you get from Handy Quilter whenever each month during the Ruler of the Month Club. And you can join the Ruler of the Month Club anytime within that 6 months. And the neat thing about it is that each ruler that you get, by the time you're done with that 6 months, you have saved about 40, because they sell them to you. It's $19 a month. Once they hit the floor where everybody can buy them, then the ruler cost, of course, goes up. And this is some ideas from the flip side template that I was playing with. And so, you know, there's a kind of a clamshell looking thing. I like that one.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty.
You know, just even if I did a bunch of arcs.
This one's nice.
Yeah, I do too. So on the flower power, I've done just a line to work from. And if this little guy,
there he is. Yeah.
so these little guys mimic, I want to use I'm moving my machine so I can get the stand under it. So I can go around. Let me see if my marker is working.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
So I can. Oh, it's not. So
there
I
we
just.
Go.
I can go around and see, am I going to like that? And if I'm 1/4 of an inch away from here,
okay. Oh, there we go.
So I've started the design here, and I can mimic it, and if I like it, I can just keep going until they meet. It's hard to see, but I'm sorry.
Well, I think everybody's getting the idea, understanding what she's telling you.
Really just draw something on and see if you like it, and if you don't, just move on to something else. I don't really like that one. There.
Thank goodness.
Our
internet connection is sad.
It's probably back here.
Okay, there we go. We can see it, yes.
I'm going to use this center line right here on my ruler, and I'm just going to try this
You're
design.
gonna just do it?
Yeah, why not?
She's just going to go for it.
1/4 of an inch above where I think the bottom is.
Pull up your bobbin thread.
If Handy Quilter is watching this, uh-oh. Alright, we're going to move that out of the way for right now. Alright, so I'm going to start here. And then, if I want to keep going up, I'm going to just move where I want to be. And you don't want to go too fast on this ruler because you'll be bumping around.
Okay, let's see if we can get a close-up of that step. There we go, yeah, so you can see.
And I have a little straight line here, but remember I'm going to have a line that goes around, so
you're going to do your 1/4 inch and just kind of mimic that with what you've got. Okay.
Yeah, so let me kind of do it right here. I'm going to go up 1/4 of an inch. Ruler work is not fast.
So in other words, don't be in a hurry.
Don't be in a hurry.
Okay.
So this one is just going to look like a bunch of waves that are
Let's
going
see if I
up.
can get it this way. Oh, yes.
So here's a wave. It's just going to look like a wave going up. And I am going to... I'm going to do my border just so you can see it. Too much over here. So this is going to be my inside border, and no, you don't have to be exact. I have to tell you, I watched Kelly Ashton when she started making these things, and it's her fault that I am hooked. Thank you, Kelly.
Well, they're so beautiful.
They are beautiful.
And you've got really, each petal you can do all kinds of stuff in. That's the thing I like about it, I think.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about it, and you can do whatever you want in it because there's no rules. And if you like how it comes out, you have got a gift that, first of all, you learned on, and second of all, it didn't cost too much to make, and the person will love it. I gave one to my cousin, and she loved it.
Well, she made one for me too, and it's gorgeous, and it's on my bed every day.
Thanks. That's nice to know.
It is. It's beautiful.
All right. So I've outlined it, and yes, no, I'm in a hurry, and it wasn't quite on the line, but in the scheme of things, it'll look great.
Well, let's face it. Once the markings are gone, and everything else around it is quilted, you're not going to notice if there's.
That you're doing the rulers is that you are putting pressure down, but not so much that the machine and the ruler base cannot move. The other thing is that you're pushing the ruler against the hopping foot and guiding the machine around it. So let's say that, well, I don't have a long arm, I have a sit down. Well, on a sit down machine, against your hopping foot, and you're going
No, we've got weird purple lines. What in the world? Whoa. I don't know what that is.
pull up. Can you guys hear us or see us?
There we
we
okay,
are.
wait, let's flip it back
Technical
around.
difficulties.
I don't know why it did that. Sorry for the purple lines, ladies. We don't know what it did that for.
If you're on a domestic machine, then your ruler up against your hopping foot, and you're going to be moving your fabric and your ruler against that hopping foot and moving around. Underneath, you'd want to have a Teflon sheet to move, and here to use them. You can do what I did. You can draw a design on, and then you can just follow it without a ruler. So they can be, you can use your rulers. You're just not limited. And the only thing that limits you is your imagination. Obviously, my imagination needs to go a little bit more.
No, not really.
But it'll be fun once I get it done because, like I said, there's no rules to this and nobody knows what it's supposed to look like. The nice thing about these Dream Big panels is that it gives you an area that you can work in, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. This big petal out here, if we decided not to do that, that could all be our background out here, and we can do whatever we want. But my friends know that I've been doing 6 other Ruler of the Months Club, and so I have, besides the rulers I already own, and so I'm going to take out a ruler and use it and see what kind of design I can get, and by the time I'm done, hopefully this will be an amazing wall hanging or throw or what. I know this was a little long, and next time we're only going to do one ruler at a time so that it doesn't take up too much of your time. I appreciate you watching. We'll get some inspiration. I don't have extra quilt tops in my house to load and play with, so this was easy. This was easy for me to grab and to work on. And if it gets done and it's beautiful, sorry sister, it might be yours. Merry Christmas. So thank you so much for joining us, and and this will be on our YouTube. It is on YouTube under Be So Creative. And if you want to see it again, yay, share it with your friends and grab those rulers and grab something to play on and have a good time. So we'll see you next month. Bye.